Good morning! And today is the day we are moving off from Frankfurt to Munich. So as you can see, our room is like in a mess because we are packing up our luggage. So it's like 7:30 a.m. in the morning now, and we're gonna head off to the Hauptbahnhof to take the ice train over to Munich. So our ice train is at 8:53 a.m. and it takes about 3 hours to reach Munich. So looking forward to go check out a new city because we are about more or less done with all the key sites in Frankfurt. So Frankfurt is okay, there's not much life after like I think 7 p.m. onwards because a lot of the shops are closed. So at least we get to go for a new place to check out today. So it's gonna be a long ride though, 3-hour train ride, but I'll show you guys the ice train along the way as well, and once we reach Munich, you can take a look at the beautiful city with me. So here we are on the ice train to Munich, and it's a 3-hour journey there. So we got the first class tickets and it only cost like about 26 euro per person for a 3-hour ride. So these are the first class seats, very spacious. The train is not too crowded yet, so seats are also pretty spacious, and there's a nice big table for us. So we got the seats that are facing each other, so pretty comfy, right? So 3 hours later, we are here in Munich. So our hotel is just like directly opposite the station, the central station. So it's just like 1 minute walk from the station. It's super convenient. So we're staying at the NH Collection, München, Bavaria, and we're waiting for check-in now. So I'll show you guys the room in a separate video on the room tour later. Then before we go sightseeing in Munich. Hi everybody, good afternoon from Munich. So we're here now, right smack in the central of Munich, and we're headed over to do some sightseeing. So our first stop for the day will be Marienplatz, and we're just like figuring out the way to walk there. So Jibeng is the walking map while I'm just the follower. So okay, basically Munich looks pretty much similar to Frankfurt, though I guess this should be a more happening place than Frankfurt because typically I guess Frankfurt is more for business, more not so much of sightseeing per se lah. So likely there will be more happening things to see over in Munich. So I'll show you guys Marienplatz once we head over there, which is like the central square area of Munich. So if you're walking around Germany, you will notice that their architecture is the very typical European style, olden style kind of architecture. And basically in Frankfurt and also along the way from Frankfurt to Munich, we saw many houses with those typical medieval fairy tale kind of architecture. So it was pretty nice and very scenic along the way to Munich. So I guess Munich has also got lots and lots of old buildings, because Germany in general is more like a very historic place. So if you like and appreciate all these kind of olden architecture, Europe is where you can find all these very beautiful buildings that have been around for many centuries. So here we are in the middle of Karlsplatz, which is one of the central squares over here in Munich. You can see that there are actually many shops, many cafes around this area, and everybody is just like sitting around chilling. Lots of people just enjoying, kids playing with birds. So it's a pretty crowded area, and we're just gonna walk around to explore since this is our first time in Munich, so everything is new to us anyway. Oh, I saw a McDonald's here, so yeah, no worries about food anywhere in Germany. If you notice that in Germany there are many castles, and even this architecture here looks like a castle that we're just going to be walking through. I think the architecture in Germany is pretty unique, so it's really cool. So there are many central squares around like in Munich, and there's one Karlsplatz, then there's also a Marienplatz. And Marienplatz has been around since the 12th and 13th century. So I guess now it would be more of like a touristy area full of shops and cafes lah. So this is how typically in all the central squares around Germany mostly are more touristy, and people just hang out, have a good time, and also just of course take a look at their beautiful architecture and also the overall scenery as well. So lots of cafes around and people just having a good time. While walking through to Marienplatz, wow, you can see that this place is definitely way more crowded than Frankfurt. Okay, Frankfurt was only crowded over last weekend because there were a lot of marathoners coming to run the Frankfurt Marathon. But this Munich is like super, I think 5 times as packed. The number of people here is like way more than it was in Frankfurt. But the funny thing is today is Tuesday, right? But we are walking like through this place and like half the stores are not open. So I don't know, is it like rest day on Tuesday? Maybe if you guys know why the shops are closed on Tuesdays, you can leave a comment. Let me know, is it Tuesday is Munich's rest day? Just entered a very beautiful church. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what church it is because like the signage is all in German, so not many stuff is in English, so we couldn't like know what is the name of the church. But it was a pretty beautiful church. I mean, it's a very big church, and compared to the churches in Singapore, of course the churches over in Europe, their architecture is more special, whereas compared to the normal Catholic churches in Singapore, right? Okay, I myself am Catholic lah, so I mean this definitely has much more grand architecture. Though there was like this some sculpture of some knights and stuff inside the church. That one was a little freaky, so yeah, but anyway, I still think the stained glass and the overall decor was very, very grand. Okay, we are now here at Marienplatz, and it's also okay. If you notice, there's this statue just behind me. It's actually a golden statue, and there is a golden statue of Mother Mary on a crescent moon. So this statue was actually sculpted since the 1590s. And if you notice around the architecture here, wow, that one is super fantastic. Yeah, and it's like okay, this Marienplatz is really, really super happening. There are lots of people shouting, cheering. And they were, I don't know, it's just a little too happening. So I think Munich is definitely looking to be much more happening than Frankfurt. Yeah, it's way, way more crowded and way, way more packed with people. So yeah, let's continue. Statue, and you're supposed to touch the breast for undying love. Here goes! We just went into yet another church, and I think this is like a hilly Gothic church. And the architecture was even more grand than the last one that we went. So the ceilings had very beautiful decor, and you know, the tabernacle area was even more grand. Lots of golden structures, golden statues used, and overall a very grand church. So churches in Europe are definitely much more grand compared to the ones in Singapore. We are now here in Englishcher Gardens, which is the park in Munich, which is supposedly larger than New York's Central Park. So this park is 370 hectares and there's quite a lot of sites within the park. I think there's like a Japanese tea house, and the key thing that I want to check out is like this wave area where, you know, I think during the summer people will actually do like wakeboarding and surfing in this wave park thingy within the park. So we're just gonna walk through the park and see the sights in the park, because since it's huge, I don't know how long we're going to take to walk through it, but probably we'll just walk maybe a part of it. Hopefully we chance upon the wave thingy that I so totally want to see. This is like one of the key sites in Munich that you need to visit, because this is a pretty popular park, as you can see by the number of people here on a Tuesday afternoon. So okay, we were thinking of where we can do a long run on Friday morning. So it looks like maybe this park will be it. But just check it out. It's gravel and it reminds me of Bedok Reservoir, which Chibeng likes, not me. Personally, I prefer running on pavement. Yeah, okay, but anyway, I guess this is like the best that we can get. Since it's a huge park, we can do a long run. Wow, it's really pretty though. So this is like you can see the rush of the water. So we suspect that this further down is probably going to be the area where the people can do the surfing. But it's really pretty because it's so nice and peaceful in general, and the sound of the water is This is where you catch the surfing action. And surprisingly, for this cold weather, there's actually still like people doing the surfing. And even like kids. I wonder how come they're not cold. I'm sure the water must be freezing. Okay, but let's hope we catch some of them doing some surfing action now. So happy that we managed to see what we wanted to see, because we saw other YouTubers actually coming here to like check out this surfing place over here at the Englishcher Gardens. So we're happy that we managed to catch people surfing. Even though it's pretty cold, like 16-17 degrees now, there are still many people donning their wetsuits and carrying their surfboards and still jumping the waves. So pretty interesting that we got a piece of the action. And yeah, because this is like, we're not here all the time, right? So happy that at least we got to catch some of them in action and see how this was actually gonna work here, you know. So it's pretty fun. So if you're here in Englishcher Gardens, I think you have to come check out this surfing wave pool area. Is it cold? Let me try. Okay, so Chibeng says the water is cold. Let me try. Yeah, it's pretty cold. Like, so we are saying we don't know how the surfers are actually not cold, or maybe their wetsuits they got some heat tech thingy. But the water is so clear, you see, like you can see the bottom of the river. Lots of people around as well. There seems to be some pavilion up there, and I can just see people climbing up the hill there. Looks like a pretty steep climb up. So there's actually a lot of people over here on a weekday afternoon. So I guess Munich is probably a very touristy area, so maybe everyone here is like a tourist. Made it up the slope to this pavilion here, and the view here is awesome. You get a bird's eye view of the park surroundings. So there are many people up here as well, and it's really nice. So just climb up. It's pretty steep, but it's pretty easy. Just go up the stairs. So this is it for our first day of sightseeing in Munich. And yeah, we actually went to check out Marienplatz, some of the churches and the sites in the Munich city, and also Englishcher Garden, which I'm still here actually. So this park is super huge and it's taking us quite a long time to walk through it lah. So we will be back again on Friday to do a run here. So yeah, lots of space for us to clock some additional kilometers here. Of course, I think I won't really like the gravel because usually I'm not a fan of the Bedok Reservoir gravel as well. I typically run more on the park connector. But anyway, yeah, this is as good as it gets. So we have to make do, and it's cooling weather, so maybe it'll be better to run here definitely compared to Singapore. So tomorrow we are going on a day trip. So stay tuned and I will bring you guys along on my journey on my day trip tomorrow. We are going out of Munich, so it's gonna be a happening day. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!